apeshit menstrual.
Give me money,
Hello. Welcome back to our reaction to Uzumaki. Today we are going to be we're going to finish the series all in one shot, so we're going to be watching episode 3 and 4 together. But this is episode 3. I'm a little worried for this one because of that one comment we got on the first video where someone was like, just watch out, just wait. Until,
Just wait for episode
I've
3.
only assumed, that's the thing, is I was so horrified by the first episode, it has to get worse, right? But last episode we had students turning into snails and having snail babies, and then the teacher stomping out the snail babies and then becoming a snail.
He did become a snail.
Do you know what's going on? Like, does the series ever, like, explain, like, how this happens or why?
It's just the spiral.
Yeah,
That's part of the horror. You can't understand it. You try to
Right.
make some sense of, like, okay, well, maybe these people are being punished or something, but no. Like, the kid who was late to class all the time, like...
What was he being
Does
punished
he
for?
deserve to become a snail for that?
Yeah,
it's very bizarre.
I struggled to find out the poetic purpose of all that.
That's exactly it. There is no purpose and there is no comfort in it.
But I don't think the spiral likes being bullied. I will say that. Because the guy
That's
turned
true.
into a snail,
It
and
does
then
defend
someone
itself.
said he was ugly. The spiral was like, no, this is beautiful, so I'm going to make you a snail. And then the teacher destroyed the babies, and he was like, no, this is not... What you're doing is against the laws of humanity, not what I'm doing. Anyway, you become a snail too. There was also hair battles.
Yes.
What, that one girl, it's so weird how, again, it just affects people so differently. I love how Kirie's hair curled up, and she, like, personality-wise, totally fine. This other girl, her hair curls up, and, well, she did that actually
After
manually.
she saw Kyrie.
Manually.
I don't know if it was, maybe she like started out manually, but the spiral was like, oh, we're doing this. All right,
She
I'll be
wants
out.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she, like, became insane. Like, she
did,
was like,
yes.
I need to be the center of attention. I need
Yes.
it. I need it. I need it.
Mm-hmm.
What did she end up doing? Did she, like, wrap herself around, like, a pole?
Yes, electric pole, and
Oh, yes, and she fried herself.
yes, presumably. I don't know if they actually did.
They didn't show it.
Yeah.
No, they cut away. There was other horrific things to look at this episode with, like, those two lovers running onto the beach.
Yes.
Intertwining.
Just
and then
that. That was horrifying enough. The running.
Yeah, the animation. Yeah. Oh, so
I'm just kidding.
now-
I didn't notice that when I first saw it, but go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm embarrassed to admit that I didn't really notice their weird running either. It's not amazing, but it's not garbage either.
It's a noticeable drop for sure.
Sure.
But it's not bad.
Yeah, it's just, you know, they are blaming the correct people. They're like, this was just mismanaged to hell, this project. And that is correct. You know, fuck those suits who fucking demand everything goes faster. Even though this took like 3 years to make.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm just going to try and appreciate the story. And the animation is passable. It definitely does the job at freaking me the fuck out. That one shot of the two lovers running onto the beach is particularly egregious.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah.
The angling is very interesting, but overall, you know, when they twisted around each other, hey, they animated that and I hated it.
I
So
feel like the animation's good where it counts.
where it needs to, yeah.
Yeah.
They're cutting corners is the problem.
Exactly.
Where in episode 1, like, every shot was beautiful. You
Yeah.
know? But I'm really excited to see where we get in this one. I want to see if Kyrie and her little brother died from the lighthouse. I doubt Kyrie did. Maybe it only kills children. I will still assert...
Right, that was the end of episode 2.
I will still assert that her hair is still pretty fucking hardly animated. All right. 3, 2, 1.
取り除いたと信じているお袋が耳の奥の渦巻きに気づいてしまったら
Yeah, that'd be probably bad.
交尾前のオスの蚊が群れをなして飛んでいるんだ螺旋状に
Spiral shaped.
よく見かけるわ。最近蚊が異常に多いのは
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those recently. Huh.
That many mosquitoes in one place? I'd be terrified.
ケイコさん、これはなんか重いけど。ああ、そのまま棚に入れといて。はい。
Okay.
But what is it?
Yeah. She looks all fucked up.
Can we not? Can we just have a calm episode? I know there's only 4, but let's do like a beach day.
Where is the beach episode?
Where's the beach? Girl, what?
You good?
Is that her dad? Thing in the environment.
She actually
Oh,
likes
you
them,
do?
though.
That's cool.
Keiko likes mosquitoes. Okay.
Can I get a different room, please?
I don't really remember Keiko, to be honest.
Okay. Kyrie just kind of be taking everything in stride, huh? What? I'm sorry? What? They're all holding those things. What are they? Are they building a big spiral? They look normal. Are they... Oh!
I do remember this.
Okay.
Huh? What's all the racket?
What? I cast sleep. What the fuck? My god. Oh, in her face?
Yeah.
They don't care about Kyrie though. She's allowed to watch. It's so convenient that, I mean, it's great that there's no explanation to how the spiral... Oh. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Why were you letting her? I was gonna say it suffers from main character syndrome, but I was like, it's actually fine because there's no explanation to why the spirals are appearing, so it's totally fine that just doesn't. Ah!
Keiko, help.
Keiko's one of them! Girl, have you not gleaned that by now?
Keiko-san.
See, like, I think this looks really good. Oh.
Bug spray.
She found the bug spray, yeah. I think it's time for me to go home from the hospital. Are you a mosquito? Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. What? How come hallucinations told her about the spiral in the ear? Oh god. Wow, that bug jump... And they're all fine. That bug jump scare was the worst jump scare I've had in a long time. I do not like that.
Centipede.
Not one night nurse made it through. Not one.
親父は死んだんだ。夢を見たんだよ、母さん。
It's not real. No, there are no spirals. Photoshop the chart, quick! That's awesome. Don't you come back, Spiral. That's kind of funny.
It is, yeah.
They're in your ears! Ah! Is any of this really happening? Like...
Why
please
did they
don't.
leave sharp objects
Please don't,
around
please
this
don't,
lady?
please don't, please don't. The fuck? They're turning into mushrooms? What?
赤ん坊の可愛さは自立できるように成長するための武器
Oh. Okay.
彼らのへその緒は何度切っても胎盤を再生する
Oh my god.
He looks horrible.
Ah! Wow, that's so disgusting. This show still, like, that's the thing, I'm not a manga reader, so it's still one of the most shocking things I've ever seen. I'm so, stop! I don't like this scene!
It's really depraved.
Is the baby in her? Like, they sewed it back in? Like, ugh! I cannot with that scene. Yeah, why don't you just leave the hospital? Why don't you just leave this town? How are you still here? Shuichi does not look okay.
Oh no, it's a party.
Shuichi is not looking so
He
great.
does not look great.
君のお父さんは芸術の若い人
Oh no.
焼き物は渦巻きの芸術であるという名言を残したことにおかげで私も真の芸術に目覚めたのだ
Oh god.
No. How y'all just washing the dishes?
Right! How did they just go back to doing normal shit? Okay.
He's just staying there.
Yeah, we gotta go. Uh-oh. God damn!
Oh! Where's Villager? Whoa!
No. No! Random
Oh,
lady.
it was that girl.
Just got...
Yoink. It spit her back out. What the fuck?
That was not Kyrie.
Yeah, see, like, wait. Now it's, like, even more unexplainable. Why is it fixated on her?
Like love at first sight,
Is
he
it
said.
because it tried to spiral her and she cut off all her hair? It was like, she figured out how to beat us!
Of course.
Like, the animation's been pretty solid.
This episode's been pretty good.
Yeah, I really like that. Like, the house getting destroyed was so detailed. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Ah!
こう見えて案外頑丈なのね。
Pardon? What?
どんな風でした息子の姿は
私何も話すこと
Yeah.
You, like,
Weird question.
I love the
buddy.
look back, too, that she gave us. She was like, okay, what the fuck?
たくさん開いてたんですよありゃ一体何です
すみません
What's your deal? The heck are those?
What's going on, buddy?
若林さん
Oh! Was that necessary?
He got hungry.
What? It's back? The luck. The spiral loves Kyrie so much.
お兄ちゃんお前山口くん
What?
Yamaguchi. Okay.
What the fuck? Who even is Yamaguchi?
I don't quite remember.
Ugh. God.
I don't remember which one Yamaguchi was.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
puke-worthy episode.
I told you, this show is sickening, dude. It's insane.
It was disgusting. What the fuck?
What was the one that
Oh.
made you gag?
It was when she found her cousin
And she was drinking the blood.
And she was like stitched up the middle.
Yes, yeah,
There was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a baby inside her.
Yes.
And well, this is some effective horror, you know.
Yes, it is. Oh yeah, Yamaguchi was that kid who would like jump out and surprise people.
Oh.
Jack in the Box. Yeah, Jack in the Box. Right. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, why is the spiral so poetic?
It just has a really good sense of humor.
Yeah, right? Like it's like a cosmic being that is inflicting horror on this town,
It's
but
like
it's
having
also
fun.
like playing pranks. It's like, hey, remember when he would spring out and scare you?
Here you go.
But he's dead and scary now. Get it, Kyrie? What's up with that? Why does it like Kyrie so much?
Because she's pretty. I don't know.
Spiral is like, that girl, she's the one.
They're into her for some reason. Again, so interesting how Shuichi is just completely immune.
He's just figuring it all out. I mean, I am worried for him. At the end of this episode, I mean, you know, he just looked skinny, but, you know, his whole family is, like, dead. I mean, I don't know what happened to his mom. We didn't see her after she stabbed her. Oh, yeah, well, we did. Right, her face was wrapped.
Yeah.
But she's probably, like, handcuffed to the bed at
She's
this
not
point.
doing well.
Like you said, what kind of a negligent fucking hospital leaves knives and surgical supplies in the room of a woman who has previously cut her own fingertips off?
Right, they left scissors in that room.
What's wrong with you? Are you fucking stupid? They're having a conversation about how they're worried and she needs to be watched and nobody's watching her. Like, what is going on? You got fucking a horde of zombie moms appearing at the hospital at night, and by morning, Kyrie tries to tell someone and everyone's like, huh? What? Like,
Meanwhile, there's like 10 dead bodies around. Like, how do you explain that?
and that nobody's gone to talk to Dr. Kobayashi or whatever, who's fucking growing placenta all over his room. What the fuck?
Man, this is really interesting. They keep growing into mushrooms.
Nobody's looking at the fact that they're like, doctor, telling us to eat these mushrooms. They're so good, I can't stop. And no one else, like none of like the other men that are working at that hospital. No, it wasn't just women. It was just pregnant women. So
Exactly.
anyone else on the staff of that hospital.
Yeah, interesting that they didn't quite turn into mosquitoes, but they were mosquito-like because they were pregnant and sucking blood for their babies.
The fuck happened during shift change? When they walked into the hospital and everyone was gone. It's like, hey, where's the night nurse?
Yeah.
She's supposed to be here. The fuck? They were also drinking the blood of patients. Don't you have like a form? Like, is somebody keeping track? This hospital is baffling. There's no concern. After all of these weird shit's been happening, people have turned into snails at school, and nobody is concerned. Nobody's even talking about that anymore. Nobody even, they're just in their cage. That's where they live.
Remember when that guy turned into a snail? Oh man.
Yeah, what were they
and
like?
now
They were
the
like-
school has two snail mascots, or three, because the teacher's a snail.
They were
right?
like, oh, Katayama got out of his cage again.
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
oh, that silly snail student. I don't understand fundamentally.
It's definitely affecting people on a subconscious level. It just does not want them to leave, so they are not leaving.
favorite is Shuichi. First episode is like, we should leave. And
First fucking line, pretty much.
he still continues to not do that. Why aren't you doing
He
that?
does not want to leave Kyrie behind, and for one reason or another, her family is not leaving, so she's not.
Yeah, because they're like, there's no reason to uproot our family. What are these strange happenings? You know, the spiral smoke when we cremate the bodies. Not the fact
Shuichi's dad turning into a spiral, his
Yeah.
mom being terrified of spirals.
Nobody finds that weird that he twisted himself into a spiral, like, out of his own will, supposedly.
They definitely didn't tell everyone about that. They definitely kept that
They
shit
kept it.
hidden.
Yeah. You think?
I mean, Kyrie was not anxious to tell Wakatayama. No.
Yeah, has she mentioned
Wa-
anything that has happened at
Wakabayashi.
her school?
She did not want to tell Wakabayashi about the body that she saw of the lady's son, the monster, quote unquote.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she didn't want to tell him, so I don't know. I feel like they just didn't say like, oh yeah, my dad turned himself into a spiral.
No mention of the kid who got burned alive in the lighthouse, or the fact that they almost got burned alive in the lighthouse. Just the fact that they were in the hospital at the beginning of this episode.
Right. Yeah. And Mitsuo is just okay.
The parents are not concerned. Your kids almost got burned alive by a lighthouse. Does that not freak you out? I'm so lost.
Yeah.
I get like during the storm you can't leave, but you know, once it was over, especially. Hey, a storm hovered over our village for like a couple of days. I think it's time to move to a different country.
But then you'd get the spiral over in fucking bumfuck Idaho. I don't know.
Bumfuck Idaho. Anyway, that was a really good episode, though. I enjoyed it. Some genuinely horrific imagery. Once
Yes,
again,
very much so.
I hated a lot of that episode, which probably means it was really good.
Is it a 10?
I think it might be. I think I need to stop letting other people's opinions affect what I'm gonna give a 10 to in this show, because I think this episode does deserve one from
You
me
enjoyed
by
it.
how much it affected
And
me.
you got such a reaction out of it, exactly. Like you
Several
gagged.
times.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I thought you were gonna have to throw up.
I was horrified. I gagged. I fully screamed at one point. Like, the show is affecting me, and I do enjoy horror, by the way. So this is fun for me to watch, even if I do. I mean, this is just like the most, for as much gore as I've seen. This is just like the most intense gore ever. Like, I have not seen shit this bad. Like, the only other what can I think of that's made me gag before? Like, Marty getting his toenails ripped off in Ozark made me gag. That's a fucking disgusting scene. But, you know, like, even The Boys, which fundamentally is such a gross show,
Right.
has, like, never made me
Really?
gag.
What about like Love Sausage or something? No.
Just a really long penis.
Yeah.
Maybe when Termite was inside of a penis. I think I gagged during that. I was like, ugh! Like,
Yeah.
I think I might have also gagged during the scene where Webweaver was just like shitting webs all over the place. It's pretty.
That definitely made you gag. That definitely made you
It's
gag.
pretty
Yeah.
fucking gross. So nasty.
It is disgusting.
It was effective though, because it was also kind of hilarious to me. Like, it went on for so long too.
He does it when he's nervous and he's talking to Homelander.
Yeah,
He's, like, the
I love
scariest
Homelander
fucking-
too. Just like, he has to get the information, so he just has to sit there and wait for it to end. He's like, oh my god, and he's like tries to kill him, but he like gets on his shoes. He's like, ugh. So funny. I thought that was
man.
effective. Yeah.
Now, question: do you think that all of this like nasty fucking shit that's happening, do you think that is overkill? Do you think that's Junji Ito just like being lazy, or do you think that is like a core component of his art and it's not like done in a way that is just meant to be disgusting?
I think. Well, I mean, you know,
Like, is it just shock value, or is there more to it? You know.
I mean, I'm struggling to see what the message of this is.
Right.
I'm thinking about maybe like it's some commentary on like mass hysteria or something like that. That's what it's like seemed to me at first, especially with other people being affected by the spiral by just being like afraid of it or, you know, obsessed with it, stuff like that. And I thought it was just like a really extreme commentary on like how far that goes, because, you know, in real life, like, mass hysteria events have happened. It's a real thing if you want to look up some really horrific events in history that are like almost like unexplainable. People are like, maybe they were eating something weird. We really don't know what happened.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I think there's definitely an argument to be made that sometimes it is definitely like he is thinking of the most horrific stuff he can possibly think of and put it in there, especially with like bugs crawling in the ears and, you know, stuff like that. I do think though it's weird to criticize that for something that is horror though, because I think that is at some point a part of the genre is like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what the genre is. It's supposed to be like shocking you, and
Right. I was gonna say, it doesn't feel too gratuitous to me. Like, I do think he's an excellent author, Junji Ito, and I do think that there is a purpose to it, and that.
it's
go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, you finish. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
It's okay. I was basically saying, I don't fucking know. I lost it. It's all good. Go
There
ahead.
is a purpose to it.
Oh
and,
yeah, there is a purpose. Like, I think there's something to be said about having to put yourself in that space. Like, okay, what is the worst fucking thing I can think of here? It is a thought exercise, you know? It's not just like something that comes to you like that. Like, oh, easy. We'll just make it so pregnant women are getting their babies sewn back in them. And
I'm
they start
surprised
drinking
he's
blood.
like okay mentally after writing this.
He has to be, right? Otherwise he would be fucking like dead already.
Yeah.
How old is he now? He would have been
don't
dead
know.
in his 30s or something.
I don't know. I was gonna say one thing that I think is something to comment on about how the fact that there is something about doing stuff for shock value is laziness, right? But there's definitely nothing lazy in how he is creating these scenarios.
Right.
And how out of bounds they go, especially with this one with the pregnant women. Like mosquitoes, that has nothing to do with spirals. It was just like another form of horror. It's just like a lot of horror, and you know, as much as this might sound shallow, a lot of horror is based around set pieces and effective set pieces, and it's like, how can I make the most, and then, you know, build the story out from that. And I think also there's something to be said about the fact that it's not just gore porn. There's really not that much blood, if you think about it. It's mostly like body horror. You know, which is, you know, a thing that is, you know, Cronenberg, we were talking about him the other day, is very famous for as a director, because it is just, at the end of the day, a form of horror that is obviously very effective. It really affects me. Yes. Yeah. So I think there is definitely a purpose to it. Yeah. While I do think that there is a valid criticism there, that there could be more to this story, like I really am... It does feel like a collection of loosely strung together events that are just kind of like happening in this town. But I also think that's kind of okay. Some stories can be that. I'm okay. I'm totally it's just okay like with that. You experience weird happenings all over town, and maybe it'll build to a climax. But you know, it's there are horror stories that are told like that. There are books that are just like, you know, not a really long horror story, but like collections of short ones that maybe have similar themes or something like that. Yeah. So. I'm interested to see how this finishes up. We're going to get into the last episode now, but I really enjoyed that one. I think I am going to give that a 10 on IMDb. Nice. I did really enjoy it, because not only was it really good, but there was also definitely a step up in the animation from last episode.
I was going to say that.
It was like... people are saying it's still not as good as the first episode, which might be true, but there were so many moments where people were just talking, and the expressiveness and amount of movement that they would go through was ridiculous. I was like, okay, but this is still like far above average what like any anime does during a conversation scene. Usually it's just like, you know, clear shot of the head and then like animate the mouth and like the jaw and stuff like that. Yeah. You've got like Kyrie at like a weird angle under debris, like looking up, and you can see like her forehead and kind of her eyes, and they're still like moving her head around like while she's speaking all the time. When the guy who was in the walls, that's Wakabayashi. Wakabayashi, yes. When he was at the door and it was that really far away shot of him explaining what was going on to them, he was moving around and expressing very visibly, even if it was like farther away. I think they're doing a really solid job, even if it's maybe not as good as the first episode. Yeah. I think this one has some really crazy shots too.
Baby one is Rie Takahashi. That is Alphonse from Full Metal Alchemist.
What? And he's just Baby one?
She does a lot of like young characters.
I guess she's the baby.
She's got the really high voice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think they really killed it with the animation this episode. A lot of really effectively shaded, terrifying shots. The way that her cousin looked, hated it.
Keiko, oh my god.
And yeah, again, I think people are a little bit too hard on the animation because of the first episode, but it's also it is fair because it is like a production issue. Yeah, you know.
Oh, I mixed it up. It's that Rie Takahashi is not Alphonse. No. They are Emilia from ReZero. They're also in.
No, I never saw ReZero. Yeah. If you would like me to react to ReZero on this channel, let me know, because I'll do that. I've always wanted to watch it. It's like on your list, but it's like of shows to show me, but it's like always at the bottom of the list. Right. There's always new anime.
I have only seen season 1, to be fair, and that was years ago now. I haven't even seen seasons 2, and now 3 is out apparently.
Oh yeah, they made another one, did they?
I think so.
Well, I heard like season 2 is like
people said it was really good.
It like cooked.
They cooked, yes.
So yeah, I was.
And honestly, I didn't hate season 1, so maybe I should get back into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to react to it, I mean, if someone wants you to react to it, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like ReZero is a popular anime. I feel like we should just react to it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll just have
You can
seen
join me
season
for season
1 already.
You
yeah.
can join me for season 1, get a recap. It's been
Yeah.
a while, like you said. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed our reaction to this episode. We're going to get on to the finale right now, and we will see you for the next one, whenever it's uploaded.
See ya.
Peace.
Hackett's Corey forever. We're playing that again.